It's 8:30. There's much to discuss. Let's have a good time. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm freshly backed. Freshly backed? I'm fresh. Yes, I'm arrived. I'm back at the Loftus Party World Headquarters after a wonderful trip to New York City. New York City? Yeah. Was on the Gutfeld program the other night. That was a lot of fun. There's some people rolling in. So New York last night, great time on the Greg Gutfeld show. He's going to be on Jimmy Fallon. We'll talk about that. He'll be on that program Thursday night. I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky on Thursday, but I'm going to try to catch some of the Jimmy Fallon action because I think it's awesome. I think it's fantastic, and I hope to see a bunch of you guys in Louisville. And then also, I'm going to say hello to some people. I'm going to take off my glasses. It's going to be like a Clark Kent Superman thing. You're going to be freaking out just a little bit. You're like, what? Clark Kent. Boom, Superman. All right, fantastic. Other dates you need to know about. Palm Harbor, Florida. Yes, my love affair with Florida continues. Palm Harbor, Florida, the 15th and 16th, and then Phoenix on the 28th. Here's what I like to do. I like to wait till it's like late August. Then I roll into Phoenix. I'm like, when is it going to be like crazy hot? I'm going to shave off all my body hair before I go to Phoenix. It's just because I just want the sweat. I just want the sweat to have every opportunity to drip off and evaporate. Okay. Are you going to run into a phone booth and put on your red undies? Yes. I think Superman always had them on. I think Superman always had the outfit on underneath his clothes. That's who he truly was. Florida rocks, says Molly McFrawley. What a fantastic name. Molly McFrawley. Feeling kind of jolly. Say Molly McFrawley. Feeling kind of jolly. This Christmas time, I'm gonna put Molly under the holly. Molly Frawley in the holly. Molly Frawley in the holly. This is the show. That's the level. That's the level I'm at. Okay. By the time you get to Phoenix, yes. I wish I could play that song. By the time I get to Phoenix. One of my all-time favorite heathens here tonight. Lynn, you're my all-time favorite heathen right there. You're welcome, Molly. Molly McFrawley. Okay, so it's all wonderful. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. It's all your James. Hey, Michael, cool hat, brother. Guess where I got this? I got this from my good buddy Joe DeBox, who has an awesome like media empire going at the America First Warehouse. If you're on the East Coast, if you're out on Long Island, Joe and the wonderful gang of patriotic knuckleheads out there, they're doing wonderful stuff all the time. Yeah, the America First Warehouse. That's where we do a bunch of, we did a comedy special out there for Studio TST. That's where we do that show tonight. We'll do those in Nashville as well. Thank you, Ann. Everybody likes my hat. I'm glad. I looked around and I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing a hat. I can't do the long hair much longer. It's been an experiment with the long hair. I don't know. Yeah, get ready for some changes. Hello from Marshfield, Massachusetts. Let's talk about the burn bags sitting in the basement for years, all forgotten. Yeah, let's talk about that. That's the Russia thing. That's the Russia collusion story. I've been talking a lot. Let me have a sip of my drink, my little Nancy Pelosi drink. Ugh, I forgot how to do the Nancy Pelosi impression for a split second, but that's delicious. What I do is I start with a base of vodka, then I add a little splash of rum, Then I add a little splash of bourbon. Let them fist fight like the Spanish Inquisition. Then just a squeeze of lime for the vitamin C and a little bit of Adderall to give me my edge back. Okay. Let's talk, because we've been talking about this a lot on the whoa, easy there, Bill Randolph. Easy there, guy. We've been talking about this a lot on the podcast. The timing is super suspicious. However, because it's just a little bit like, oh, they concocted this whole story. And I'll tell you right now that I knew that the Russia collusion thing was made up by Hillary Clinton because I interviewed a girl who was embedded with the Clinton campaign. She literally wrote a book about it called Shattered. You can see the interview. It's from 2017. I did it, and it's out on the Loftus Party website. Okay. I also did a video about when they released the notes from the meeting where Comey and Clapper told Obama what was going on and how they told Obama, this is something Hillary concocted. And then Joe Biden is like, oh, well, maybe we could do this, that, or this to trip up Trump. And I remember thinking, oh, it's game over then. I'm telling you, I did this video in like 2019. It was a long time ago. So I find the timing of all of this. Oh, we found all this evidence in these burn bags that they just forgot about. I don't really like when you have evidence at the FBI level, even at like a local police level, you have to sign out for that. Like, oh, who was the last guy to have that bag of documents? Oh, Jim McGillicuddy, Molly McFlawley. So I don't really know how much, but okay, there's the evidence. There it is. They can say, oh, this was in a burn bag and they forgot to burn it and we just found it. Okay, that's fine. I find it very odd that right as like Epstein was getting that story was getting so hot. It was getting so hot. Everybody was talking about Epstein. All of a sudden, Tulsi Gabbard comes out and is like, boy, howdy, I've got irrefutable evidence, she says. Irrefutable. Okay. I've given it to the DOJ. Okay, now what? No, they're going to do a grand jury. That's cool. They're doing a grand jury down in Florida. That's cool. Somebody has to get arrested. I don't think you'll ever get Obama on this. Just the optics on it. Just there's no appetite for it in a big part of the country. The majority of Americans now recognize that there was some super shady stuff going on. I think you got to go after Brennan. You have to go after Comey. You have to go after Clapper, McCabe, those guys. Let's take the high road and leave Obama out of it, who just sold his Martha Vineyard's house to friggin' Les Wexner. Yeah, Jeff Epstein's financial guy. Anyway, I don't think you're going to get Obama. But if you can get Clapper and if you can get Brennan and you can get McKay and all those guys, that will unlock. That's going to give you leverage on Epstein. I think by going after the Russia thing and all those hooligans and what they did, because it was horrible. It was horrible. And the media was complicit. The media played along. It was all just beyond the beyond. So I'll say this and then I'll let it go. Get Brennan. Get somebody from the intelligence community. Put the screws to him. Then that'll unlock a lot of Epstein Island too. Howard is canceled. Howard Stern. I kept seeing that story and I tried to verify it, but I couldn't verify it. It's obvious we'll never get all the facts about all this, but I love it being discussed and Comey has to be investigated with his friends. Yes. Yes. And like I wrote an article. I got back from the airport. I did a couple of things. One of them was it was an Epstein update, and oh, Congress is subpoenaing people, and now people are going to be subpoenaed by Congress. Once again, that's like a dog and pony show. That's like a dog and pony show. People need to get arrested. We've reached a point in our culture, this is my opinion, where it's going to drastically change the face of this country and just the way we look at the law. If these people get away with this, if they can get away with the Epstein stuff, if they can get away with the Russia thing, if James Comey can just come out and go, yeah, you know what? There's a lot of bad stuff you could say about Hillary. And yeah, there was some top secret stuff. And yeah, there's a list of crimes, but we can't prosecute. And it was like the same thing when that guy interviewed Joe Biden. When he interviewed Joe Biden, he's like, yeah, there's some crimes there, but we're not going to prosecute because he's an old guy. What in the hell? And then the other interesting to think about, and this is like deep state city right here, is like where was Bill Barr? Where was Durham? What were those guys doing? Right? Did they just miss this information? That like Tulsi Gabbard goes in there and she's like, oh my gosh, I found it. It was right there. It was under that stack of stuff. Irrefutable evidence, you guys. I gave it to the DOJ. What? What? I remember Bill Barr was in there for like years. Durham was in there for years. All these other dudes were in there for years and years. And they're like, yeah, you know what? It looks bad, but you never know. All right. I say give Tyrus 5 minutes with him. 5 minutes apiece. Does Tyrus get rest breaks? I think we get as long as Tyrus gets to like, give him 30 minutes between dudes. With the Durham thing, Connie says, agree. Yeah. This seems to be a group of people. And it's like right now, my buddy John Rich. Oh my gosh, Turd Stock. I'm gonna be at Turd Stock on the 28th of September in Nashville. Cannot wait for that. So I got to practice. John Rich is doing some awesome stuff down there in Nashville, and he's working. I forget the name of the candidate that he's backing for some office down there. But there's this group of like old school, stick in the mud, politics as usual, GOP dudes who are against the candidate that John Rich likes. And these are the same dudes who refused to back Trump back in the day. So it's not like Trump won the presidency and all these people are like, oh, I guess that's it. I guess we'll fold up our tents and go home. No, that's a good gig they have. They're making a lot of money. They got the inside scoop. They're powerful people. They're politicians. They're going to lie their bahunkuses off and try to stay as long as they can. I sat by the ocean, drank a potion, baby, to erase you. Face down on the boulevard, yeah, I couldn't face you. That's what I love about that song. All right. Thoughts on the cowards fleeing Texas? I think they've given up their seats. Isn't that how it works? Aren't there rules? For the love of God, aren't there rules? And this is what I was saying. When these people aren't held accountable, that changes everything in America. I can remember I was with my buddy Dave Landau. We were doing shows in Spokane, and there was kids on the street just like they were doing that zombie thing where they were just all hunched over. I don't know what they'd been doing. I don't know what they'd ingested or what they injected. But then and then a cop's rolling down the street, and I'm like, what am I worried about? What am I worried about? If somebody can sit around on the street and just do whatever freaking crazy, and then people can shoplift and like, oh, it's not over $300, so we're gonna look. I don't want to. Where's my version of that? You want to say that America is equal? Okay, what laws do I get to break as a citizen? We're supposed to pay attention to all this stuff. We're the backbone. Oh, we have to obey all the laws. Oh, we have to pay all the fines. Oh, we have to show up for traffic court. Oh, we have to do this. Oh, you better pay your property taxes. It's becoming glaringly obvious that the rules just don't apply to two ends of the spectrum. The people on the super poor end of the spectrum can do whatever they want, and the people on the very rich end of the spectrum, the politically connected people, can do whatever they want. So where's the middle class version of that? Where's the working man's version of that? That's what, and when no one is held accountable for crap, it's like that chick who said, oh, I'm Guatemalan before I'm an American. And she's an elected representative from Illinois. She swore an oath. Don't they swear an oath? I was talking about this last night on Gutfeld. You swore. I could have sworn you swore an oath to like uphold the Constitution and do this and the American United. Like she broke her oath. Kick her the hell out. I was only like halfway joking last night. Kick her out. And these people in Texas, I don't like what you're doing. We're going to say it's gerrymandering. We don't like, we're going to run away. Okay. You have violated your oath of office. That seat is now vacant. That's what I think about Texas. If you run away and you vacate your seat, it's freaking tick-tock on the clock. We're watching here. If you're not back to vote in a certain amount of time, you're done. It's the rule of law. I've thought about this a lot. Here's what happens in I love history. I love the history of this country. I love the history of other civilizations and all of that stuff. And the brilliant thing that the founding fathers did with this country is like, we're going to let the citizens run it. We're going to let the citizens run it, and no one's going to be in office forever, because what happens in every single civilization, it's like the sun rises in the east and sets in every single civilization. You get an elite ruling class. It just happens. It just happens organically. An elite ruling class, they always want to stay there. They never want to go back to being regular people. So everybody thought that America would fail, but the founding fathers are like, no, we'll have citizens who are smart, who are well informed, who love the country. They will run the country, and then they'll go back to being civilians. And that's our only hope. And it has gone swimmingly well. Swimmingly well. No other country comes close to what America has done. It's insane. If you look at this through a historical lens, it's effing crazy how good we're doing. But there's that elite class, and they want to stay there. It's the Nancy Pelosi's who say, listen, you have to stay home. It's time for lockdown. You can't get your hair done. You can't get your nails. You can't go to a restaurant. But I'm better than you. I'm Nancy Pelosi, ruling class. I'm gonna get my hair done, my nails done, because I'm an important person. That is the canary in the coal mine, and it's been there for a super long time. Gavin Newsom, that Chuck. Remember when he went out to that dinner at the French Laundry? They literally wanted to throw people in jail for having too many friends and family over for gatherings. They wouldn't let you go to your own family member's funeral and sit next to. People need to be held accountable. If we can take so much of it, we can, and maybe this is the best thing for the country. Maybe this is like the healthiest thing that we have to finally just like kind of snap. Because this Zohran Mamdani guy in New York. Here's what happens. That guy's very popular. He's very popular. When people like me and people like us and people who work really hard for a living start to realize, oh, there's no upside. There's no upside to working really hard. Like the way they mess with the money and they do the inflation and the wages rising. If you're not an entrepreneur, if you're not it's really tough out there now. It's really tough. Trump's trying to do his best. God love him. He's really trying to do his best. But when young kids today, they look at like, how am I ever going to buy a house? How am I ever going? The idea of socialism, yeah, that's pretty appealing. You mean to tell me that like I could just sit at home and the government's going to pay my rent and then I'll get an allowance every week and then that sounds really appealing. And things like that, they're really appealing for a short time and then it goes south. Just ask anybody who was around in China just ask anybody who was in any communist country. Ask anybody who survived the Soviet stuff. When it goes bad, it gets really bad. Okay. Chris Christie hangs out at the beach. Is that an idea for a song, or is that just Chris Christie hanging out at the beach? Yeah, the Zohran is betting on appealing to them. Yeah. And that's Liz Warren was there too, shaking her fist and her little starter earrings and her little I'm a librarian haircut. Oh, and you want the rich people to get richer? You want the rich people to, yeah, they are still doing that. The reason that your life isn't working out the way you want is because, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. Yep. It's because if they weren't that rich, your life would be better. I don't know how that math works. Yeah. Everyone who likes socialism thinks that they'll get the free stuff out of it and someone else does all the work. Yes. And then they realize, oh crap, we need farmers. Oh crap, we need somebody to fix the sewers. Oh my goodness, we need, and it's like not the sexiest jobs. And there's it collapses really fast. Oh, stop. That's a lesbian haircut. Do you think Pocahontas is walking, singing about Christie? Chris Walken, sing about Chris Christie. The thing with Chris Walken is like his rhythms are so jacked up. It's practically impossible to sing like Chris Walken. Sing about Chris Christie. He's on the beach. He's like a whale. He's so big. He's Chris Christie. He's on the beach. He's on the beach. All right, that was funny. Hi, Michael from Newport News, Virginia. Hello. Thanks for tuning in, Newport. Did everybody share? I always forget to do that. You know, you have a job in this too. We all have to do our part to make this the most explosive, fun to watch live stream in the history of fun to watch live streams. More cowbell, says Tom Wood. Everybody, we've got a few minutes left. Share like you're Elizabeth Warren at a scissor party. And you're like, Mike, I don't know what a scissor party is. Google it. Thank you, Aubrey Hind, for saying that's awesome. KY. Now, are you asking for KY or are you saying Kentucky? Because Kentucky's happening tomorrow. I'm going down to Louisville, Kentucky. I love it there in Louisville, Kentucky. They got lots of KY and jokes from me. It's going to be a blast. Louisville, Kentucky. There's a couple of cities that will always have like a place in my heart, for real. I won a comedy contest. I started doing comedy. Things went pretty well. I won this comedy contest, and one of the prizes was I got to do a week of comedy and get paid for it. Right? I got paid for it, and it was in Louisville, Kentucky. It was like a whole little tour that ended in Louisville, Kentucky, and I had so much fun, and people were laughing, and it was like being a rock star. And the people at the club, I don't even know if I'm playing the Louisville Comedy Club tomorrow, but this club, I'm dating myself here, was called the Funny Farm. Great people. Great people. God bless them all for being so patient with me and so fantastic. But I always had fun in Louisville. I'd go to Louisville like twice a year. Louisville. So I've been in California for a long time, been in New York for a long time, and now finally I got a chance to go back to Louisville, and I'm completely stoked. That is a cool town. Louisville is a cool town, and freaking Lexington are awesome. Don't sleep on Kentucky. Kentucky's a cool freaking state. I dig that place. The other city that was very good to me, Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio. There's a club there, Hilarities. They were very good to me early on. Salute. I'd love to get back to. If you're watching in Cleveland, let them know at Hilarities. Like, get that Michael Loftus guy in there. Okay. Remember that song Funny Farm? I don't remember the song Funny Farm. I remember the movie Funny Farm. The movie Funny Farm actually had some very, very funny moments. That was Chevy Chase and his wife. They decided to leave the big city and get like a farm in the countryside, and it all goes crazy. Come to Soul Joel. I want to come back to Soul Joel's. Connie, I need to figure out how to get a hold of that guy. I'd love to go back to Soul Joel's. Me, Joe DeVito, and Dave Landau. Hell of a show. Bill Randolph, you live in Cleveland. Bill, let the Cleveland Hilarities people know that we got to do a show up there. Can I please come to Ferguson Center in Newport News, Virginia? I'd love to. Do you guys have a beach there? Is it a nude beach? We ran away from New York and moved to Kentucky. You love it. Yeah, I bet you do. It's freaking awesome. It's awesome down there. They're coming. Oh, that's the Funny Farm one? They're coming to take me away. Ho, ho, hee, hee, ha, ha. To the Funny Farm, was life is wonderful all the time. Oh, yeah. I love that shit. Dr. Demento. Hi, Michael. Will anyone in the audience at the Gutfeld show ever throw a dildo on the set during the show? If somebody does that, they better not do that when Tyrus is there. They're throwing the green dildos at the WNBA games, and I gotta tell you, I think it's pretty funny. Now I know like there's hockey games. Who's the hockey team? Where you throw the squid, they throw the squid on the ice. They also throw a teddy bear. Here's what I'm really worried about. This is someone chucking like a dildo from like the upper deck, like an upper decker dildo, and some girl gets hit in the eye. That would be horrible. Can you imagine, like if you thought you had a pro basketball career and then you took a fake wiener to the eye and that was the end of your career? That's not how you want to go out. You want to go out like, oh, it's the final game and like, oh, my knee blew out, but then I still made the free. At least you get a story. You don't want to be the old lady at the old folks home and your grandkid is like, what happened to you? I thought you played in the WNBA. What happened, Nana? Well, it was game 4, and we were playing a game in New Jersey, and I was about to make a layup, and out of nowhere, a red, white, and blue. It looked like a missile. I just saw it for a second, but it was one of them big old wonk. See, it's only funny like that. If you could guarantee that no one's going to get hit by one of these things, I want it. I'd love to see hundreds of them. I really would. That would just so completely surreal. Just like it's just raining, just boom, 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 and then bonus points if the suction cup sticks. If you could get the suction cup thing to stick to the backboard and be like an arrow. And here's the thing. I also think there's a Harry Potter aspect to this. Like they should all be like multicolored dildos, but there should be one golden one, and that's like the golden snitch in Harry Potter. And so if there's like thousands of these things flying around the court, and then one girl finds the golden one, she has to take that and then she has to throw it into the hoop, and then they win the whole game. It's all over. You just do that. All right. How did the rumor start that you lived in a shelter on Gutfeld? Here's how it happened. I had just got a haircut, and I was wearing this. I wore the jean jacket last night. I wore this jean jacket on the show, and I think it annoyed Greg. I think it annoyed him, so I wore it again. And then I got him his own. I bought the exact, because we're roughly the same size. So I'm like, here, you can have one. And I think he was kind of entertained by that. So one night I'm on the show and I just had a haircut, and it was a little Liz Warren-y. That's all I'm going to say about that. It was Liz Warren. I went through a period living in New York. I had a very hard time finding somebody who could cut my hair. Yeah, look at that. So it was a haircut that looked a little bit. It had a little bit of a Liz Warren aspect to it, and Greg just blurted it out. He just goes, Loftus. He goes, you look like a homeless lesbian. I thought Tyrus was going to die. He was laughing so hard. Tyrus was laughing so hard. And then Greg was laughing so hard. And the other, I forget who else was on the panel, but they were just like, did that just happen? And then I'm laughing too. Like, how could, that's funny. And I know it's like it wasn't mean spirited or anything. So then I go, I look that way because that's what I am. So I rolled with it, and it has been so much fun ever since. Even Dana Perino last night was like, hey, so do you get a new refrigerator box? Yes, I did, Dana, and I love it. They're all jealous because they have to dress up, and I can just roll in however I want. I put on my jean jacket, baby. Show up for a taping of the show. I put on my jean jacket, baby. Head to a taping of the show. But I can tell by the clock on the wall. Oh, it's time to go. French door fridge. Do we like the French door fridges? I don't know if we do. I'm on the fence. I'm in the market for a new fridge. Please let me know. I'm one of those people that, like, the fridge that we had growing up when I was a little kid, it had a little like a foot pedal thing across the bottom. Fridge was like a drawer, but you could press your foot on this little pedal, and it would like open up for you. So if your hands were full, okay. Bill says, Gutfeld's always better when you're on, not kissing your ass. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this is a great discussion to have after the Jimmy Fallon thing. I think it's going to be good ratings for Jimmy Fallon. It's going to be really good ratings for Jimmy Fallon. I don't know if any of the Fallon people will come over to watch Gutfeld. I sure hope they do. But here's what, well, the secret sauce to Gutfeld is that it's a real conversation. When somebody says something that's really funny, people really laugh. There's nothing pre-scripted and then I'll say this and then you say that and then you hit. No, it's all like it's an organic conversation. And when you have interesting people with different insights and funny things happen, that's the best. It's the best. And wonderful things happen in the moment. Barb says, I'm old enough to remember those fridges. Yeah, those were great. Does anybody do anything like that now? Okay, we're gonna get out of here. I could literally go all night. Yes, Dana Perino is fantastic. I'm a big fan. When will you be back on Gutfeld again? I'll be back on Gutfeld on I've written it down for just such an occasion, the 25th. I'm a little busy between now and then. Louisville tomorrow, then Palm Harbor, Florida on the 15th and 16th. Then I'll go to Gutfeld on the 25th, and then I'll go to Phoenix on the 28th. And then at some point we'll start talking about September and en natural. I'm impressed that Fallon is having Greg on his show. Yes, Elaine. And this is the big difference too. Jimmy Fallon, once upon a time, was a stand-up comic. Jimmy Fallon knows what's up. He knows what's up. He's been out there on the road. Colbert doesn't have that. Colbert's insulated. Jimmy Kimmel is insulated. But Fallon remembers. He knows, traveling around the country and meeting all kinds of people. And I think Jimmy Fallon or someone on his crew is looking at the ratings and how many people are watching TV. And he's like, boy, that number keeps going down. Except for that one guy, Greg Gutfeld. His numbers keep going up. What's going on here? And he knows that he's not appealing to the entire country. Half the country has just written these dudes off, and for good reason. For good reason. So good for Jimmy Fallon. Good for Jimmy Fallon, absolutely. I'm sure it'll be a great show. I'm sure Greg will be fantastically entertaining. Why not KC? I am coming to KC. Oh, I have a date in Kansas City, and I'll add that to the tour dates. Love Gutfeld. No holes barred. Or holds. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. His numbers will go up tomorrow and then back down. Yes. Don't forget to like and share, everyone. Molly McFrawley, you're so kind. Yeah, don't forget to like and share, buddy. Like Molly McFrawley says. Molly McFrawley. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Have a great night, everybody. There's always great stuff at theloftusparty.com. I do believe there'll be a new recipe up tomorrow from our friend Suzanne. And then there'll be Serena will have something up on Friday. And then Cranky will have the memes of the week up. And then there'll be Sunday jams. And then Lisa K. Tate will have stuff. It's a wonderful little group of beautiful misfits. And you're all a wonderful part of it. Thank you all. One last question. Why are those pants still on?